Welcome back, everyone. So in the last episode, I was showing you the process of doing the spiral work here and the mountain armor. I've now gone ahead and done most of the base coating, layering coating of Vallejo 72.046 Ghost Grey. I am so tired of grey, but anyway, we're getting there. Next section is to go ahead and, with Vallejo 72.001 dead white, going over and edge highlighting everything. So I've gone ahead and done all the what's going to be porcelain areas that don't have pattern. So now it's highlighting all of that, highlighting all these mountain arm areas, the spirals, and then going over with art coat. So what the art coat does is it gives it a nice shiny glaze. I don't know if you can see on this front panel here, these little headpieces, this arm here, I don't know if you can see all that. I've also done the back to mountain armor areas. What that does is it gives it a nice shine like glazed pottery would. Same with this section just here. It may not look that good to other people, but to me that's just how, after watching a pottery show, it's just how pottery looks after it's been fired and glazed. So all I'm going to do is, it's a very thin coat basically of white. So I'm just edge highlighting every single piece I can find. This has all been done, so working out where light would hit it and edge highlighting that. Edge highlighting every single spiral pattern, which takes ages. That's with my wet palette and the white paint's been watered down. So I'll just do this piece here. Yes, I'm on camera. So it's almost like I hope this doesn't run. It's like very runny. It's going to be very see-through basically. I might have to add more paint to it just to get that kind of vibrancy back. But basically, just run across any edge. If there's the cracks, just highlight the edges of those cracks. It just kind of pronounces them a little bit better. When you're working with your wet palette and you've got your paint this thin, just be very careful when you're painting. Be very precise with what you're doing, because for me, I found this paint consistency is almost that of a wash. Maybe a more contrast paint actually. And it does have a tendency to want to run into crevices and cracks like a wash or a contrast paint would do. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. Also keep in mind that the paint you see putting onto the model is a lot brighter than what it's going to look like when it's dried. So when it's dried, it's going to be very muted. to the point where it might even look like you haven't done anything. So like, it's hard to show on this because I've glazed it, but on this, there are times I'm like, oh, have I even highlighted that? So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. Another good thing about the glaze is that, especially with the mountain armor I found, I was finding all the top ridges were starting to rub away the paint. So the glaze just kind of acts as like a protectant, if that's a word, to kind of help keep that paint job pristine. Unless, of course, you're going for that kind of stressed look. In that case, go for gold and don't glaze. So I'm just going to quickly show you this symbol here, that back piece, and the kind of what I'll call raw clay underneath. I won't sit here for 40 minutes painting this model. It's not fun to watch. So like, that line was probably a little bit too thick. Also, the best part about edge highlighting the spiral pattern, there we go. The best part about that is that I don't have to be precise anymore. So I've done the grey. Now I just go through and kind of pick out areas I kind of like the look of and think light would hit. Also, being once it's got the glaze on it, the light reflection will change because of that glaze. So don't be too pedantic about this. Just do it so it's got some sort of depth to it and some character. I can honestly say after this model, I am tired of grey and white. But then if I did a stone look, I probably would have been said, I'm sick of grey and dark colours. So, yeah, you get what you're given, I guess. The other good thing with having watered down wet palette paint is that it does move a bit better than how I would normally paint, which is straight from the pot. Which, yes, I know, most people are not into that, which is fine. The only difficulty with this part is that I have to be very precise where I'm putting paint, just because there are so many little grooves here. The paint will want to do that kind of wash shade thing that I was, contrast thing that I was talking about before. So just be mindful of that. All right, and then for these raw clay porcelain areas, just kind of pick out roughly where light would kind of find. And the beauty of this is not every single piece has to be painted. There we go. And that's that done. I will quickly show you how to do the mountain arm a bit. Oh, very quickly, there are a few spots I've missed. And here. There we go, that's a bit better. All right, mountain armor. So, I showed you in the last video how to do the grey Y. I can't remember if I showed you how to do the white. So basically all I'm doing is middle, side, side, middle, side, side. Again, don't be too pedantic with this. Just so long as you've highlighted it, when it dries, it's going to be not as vibrant. So you may see a mistake now that you do and be like, oh, that's too horrendous, gross. Just remember that when that paint dries, it's going to dry a lot muted. So all I'm doing is just following those hard ridges. And I should have painted this without the weapon on because it's in the way. It's all learning. A few more spots. And underneath this ring. done. All right. Next thing I will show you is, very quickly, the glazing. So for this, I just grab an old brush because I'm going to be quite aggressive. So the last thing I want to do is wreck my artist opus brushes. But all you're going to do is grab some coat and then just dab it on. Be careful how thick you go, because I noticed with the mountain armor here, I may have gone a little bit thick in some places. And the reason I know that is it's gone bubbly. So just be mindful how much you're putting on. Into those crevice areas, because I want that to shine. Again, up to you how you want to paint this. You may want to leave that raw clay unglazed, and that's more than fine. Oh, oops, I forgot that crap. Oh well. So yeah, that's how I've done the glaze. So now that's that bit done. That might go ahead and do the mountain armor. And the best part is, if you have missed something like I have with this little crack here, I can go back over and paint over the top of it and then reglaze it again later. Because I trialed that on an arm piece over here, and it worked not too bad. And there you have it. So the next video will cover gems and fabric pieces. So I've already started trialing a gem here and fabric down here. So the fabric pieces tend to be all around all of its lower legs. And there's countless gems over the top of it, or over everywhere. So next video I'll show you the process on that. Until then, happy hobbying.